Hi Leos, thank you so much for being here. I am Divine Femme Carrot 144, very happy, grateful, and blessed to bring you this reading. This reading is designed for those who have their sun, moon, and rising signs sidereally in the zodiac sign of Leo. Unlimited to anyone who should find this message or should this message find you. For your reading, I will be doing a 3-card spread of love, money, and you, and then we'll get a major arcana. And then we'll get a card from the end of the world as we know it, created by me, that has the lunar moon phases and zodiac and zodiac signs. Everything has been pre-shuffled, so let's go ahead and begin. We'll get your first card here for love. For Leos. Thank you, Spirit. The first card for love for Leo. Beautiful. We have the High Priestess. All-knowing, intuitive, psychic, quiet, keeper of secrets. They know when to speak. They speak when they are guided to, listening to their inner selves. I'm also getting, for Divine Masculine, this being about listening to one's intuition. Or this could be the presence of a High Priestess that's in your life if you're Divine Masculine. The counterpart energy will be Hierophant energy. And then we do have the Alpha and the Omega. The Moon energy that adorns that Alpha and the Omega. The Torah is what I see here. They may be wearing green. Maybe wearing green. And then they have a lot of depth to them here. Just seeing that in the upper chakras, that'll speak to the Divine Feminine energy. I do see a Sun energy also. So we do have Sun and Moon. And that'll be the Masculine Feminine energy. Yin and Yang will also be that too at the third eye. So we have that energy of the Sun in the crown area. Yin and Yang in the third eye, that being completely aware, awakened, and in tune. I get a sense of completion, feeling complete also as well, able to help others. Smiling energy, even though it seems they're not smiling, but they are smiling. The eye stare will also be significant to the depth of what goes beyond seeing is also what I'm getting. And then this is a card of 2. Second house energy of Taurus, but then also mastery and Gemini energy will be significant as well. I do get the energy of blue as a part of the hair being connected to Saturn. And then Pisces and Aquarius will also be relevant. Galaxy energy. This is beautiful energy. And then for some, I'm getting like this doesn't even have to be hair. It could even be like seaweed. Speaking to the ocean and the depth of that ocean, the ocean being from within, but then it also being on the out. That is super dope. I love that. All right, that's pretty. And then because you can see the galaxy here, and then you see some of the galaxy here, so it's like the elevation being in higher realms, and then being happy, connected to divine as a divine conduit. I do see a cross here, that also being significant as well. That's so pretty. All right, beautiful. All right, so take what resonates for that, with this being in the love section. Ooh, that's pretty dope. Strong attractiveness with the High Priestess as well. A part of the metaphysical, the occult. Readers, healers, teachers, all of the above. That's awesome. All right, let's get your money card for Leo. Thank you, Spirit. Money card for Leo. We have the Ten of Cups and the Strength card. Okay, so Ten of Cups. This particular Ten of Cups. I don't know. I get this being more of a perspective energy rather than it being the actual truth. And I'm also seeing an ending. I don't get this being two separate people either. I get it being one person. And I think that's where the false perspective is coming in, because I do get the World card. Something being over, connected to this particular person where they're unhappy and trying to control a situation. The 10 and the 11 from the Strength card, creating a 21, and that's speaking to the World card. A karmic cycle. So is this a karmic? This may be a karmic who's bipolar, who manipulates and tries to control. They also create stories that aren't true. And they're unhappy. And that gain and control here is what they've done to get what they have here, but they're not really happy. And then I'm also seeing Five of Cups of regret. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Having this cup hidden, so they may have tried to hide something that has to do with an Ace of Cup. And then putting putting this cup in front of that cup, where I'm getting like concocting, well, maybe if it's in the energy of this cup here, it'll be the same, but it being different. And then that gives me Three of Cup, third party situation right here with these 3 cups here, where it's almost like this being a facade of a Ten of Cup and this actually being a Five of Cup, which is right here. And this being the true representation while someone was trying to hide and pretend to be this. Like it's going in circles here too, I've noticed. So that could be connected to the bipolar energy I'm getting for this particular person. Them also having no business being in the money section here either. Maybe that's why I was picking up Divine Masculine and having a feeling of love when it comes to a High Priestess. This will also be a genuine and true energy connected to divine. So I get in seeing the High Priestess, or also seeing the truth of what's been happening with their money connected to a bipolar person who's unhappy and who may have pretended when it came to a connection. Like I got that here. I'm also getting this here. And then Leo is your representation. So I do get this also being about false representation when it comes to a lot of you as divine masculines. I just got a notification on my phone from a Sidereal channel that I watch. Interesting that came through in that way. And the title that came through was Healing Deep Wounds. So this may be applicable most definitely for the Leo energy who's wanting to be portrayed here by this particular energy, but it's not true. Like wanting to claim the crown. And I see an asp here, but this isn't, it's not a crown. And then the sun at the back here, is that going to be the light that shines from the true divine masculine as a Leo person? Illuminating truth of an energy who possibly portrayed themselves also to be a Nine of Pentacles. I'm seeing the two trees here on the sides. And then again, just portraying falsity in order to gain what may... Oh, goodness. I don't even want to talk about this no more. Lord, let's see what's at the bottom. Because, again, it's going in circles. And I don't feel that this is going to... Let's see what's at the bottom of the deck. Lord. The Fool card. All right, so this may be someone who has been foolish. Given that we have the bipolar energy and then the sun at the back of this energy, there's masculine energy that's here, so it could apply to the divine masculine who's seeing the truth of a situation, being connected to similarity of what we have here with the Strength card. Like a false sun, because Leo lions are the sun. So this could be also the foolish behavior coming from this person here too. Let's go ahead and attempt to get you another card here. I just feel that, you know, with some kind of goodness that wants to come through, there's like an automatic ignorance that wants to try to block that. So let's get you a money card here for Leo. God, that just went from like high, super high to like, where the fuck are we? Money card for Leo. And maybe that's about the foolish energy. Yeah, the truth. Oh. Oh, the King of Cups. Clarity. The third eye. This is like an eye. And then I get that being related to what's here, but also the beauty in the eyes, the backing. The sun energy, the truth of that being here as a part of the crown chakra rather than behind someone's head. And with it being in the money, this is going to be new. That's beginning here on solid foundation. Seeing the truth and then moving forward and towards that. And then this King of Cup actually wearing a crown. They have a lot of, the King of Cup is one who's also very psychic and intuitive. They have a lot of love from within, a lot of depthness. I'm also getting a past reading. It might have been Pisces that I just did. Where Knight of Pentacles reversed came through, connected to an Ace of Swords of Clarity, and it was from the same deck here. So it could be possible that this King of Cup is showing up as a King of Cup with love and with giving, seeing some truth and clarity for what it actually is. And that being a part of them, this possibly being delivered by the high priestess as message, and with it being upright, then being listened to, being provided message from the ether. Love and money could be connected here. We'll go ahead and we'll leave this here. And then all four kings do create the emperor. The next step for the high priestess and new manifestation cycle is the empress energy. So we do have that kind of flowing through here. And then swords energy will be air, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Aquarius being your polarity energy. Cups being water, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, and Ophiuchus. I got very quiet, but not quiet, if that makes sense. Like the presence of this king, I feel is going to be significant as far as him showing up, but also coming through with a new foundation and setting here that's based on truth and clarity, honor and integrity. Interesting that all that noise just stopped too after I said that. Let's get your U card for Leo. Seven of Pentacles, King of Wands. And we have two King energies, but this is going to be the U section. And just as I said before, I don't get this being a separate person. I get it being the action that's taking place towards an investment. Let's scoot these over so we can fit everything in here. All four kings create the emperor. In the U section, we have the fire action. And I get that being about divine masculine investing in shit that was getting them nothing and nowhere. And that's what I see here with the U section. When it comes to money, it could be that the truth was delivered. Like the yellow that I'm getting is in the cup. From the Ace of Swords here in the cup, and then also here in the happiness. So divine masculine being a great giver in money, but also being an empirical person who has empires, who has businesses, who is a boss. But I'm also seeing the truth, like that third eye energy wanting to come through. As importance. And so I just get that the high priestess being very happy. Having the all-knowing energy, delivering truth that's being relayed here and has been relayed to the King of Cups for them to see the truth of what's been happening in the money section for them, divine masculines. and that they've been putting too much into what has not been paying off. Let's see what's at the bottom. The Wheel of Fortune. At the center of this will be passion and love. So I get this being a lesson on learning about this and the importance of love at the heart space and the truth. 10 being significant for this card. 10th house energy of Capricorn will be significant. That'll be polarity energy to the water of Cancer that's here in the Cups card. Also, too, to the High Priestess. But I get in putting love at the center, listening to one's intuition, which I get with the intuitiveness. I get this being the divine feminine from within divine masculine here. The wheel's turning. The universe is also working, and I get this being about fated events that are destined to happen. Saturn being the ruler of Capricorn. 10s also being about endings and there being new beginnings. And then I look right back at the High Priestess card, and all I can see is that smile from the moon energy, that being the mystical energy that comes from the High Priestess and what they represent. So overall message that I'm getting is that an Emperor energy has awakened. And listening and honoring the feminine from within, the divine feminine, everything, and seeing what hasn't been working, where it could even be, the color code and that connect too, because a lot of this with the pink energy is also here in the King of Wine, but I feel it's more connected to the wine energy, that may have had to do with other relationships, connections, utilizing that wand as a magic wand, but yielding it in a way that was not getting them anywhere, but listening to their intuition, where this wand is now, that sword that's being one of the other tools of the magician. And utilizing this, it's creating now things all coming into fruition that one has been wanting to manifest. If that makes sense. Let's get your major arcanas. For Leo. Holy shnickies. I even see part of this wheel energy right here. It looks just like that. The pattern is a part of this wheel, the Wheel of Fortune. Leo. Oh my God, what I just heard. So, like, I get this King of Cup having so much love for this High Priestess. And then this person being like, what about me? Oh my God. That shit cray. Card for, card for Leo. Justice reverse. For that wheel not turning, making investments in other places and other things. And so this just confirms what I got here with this whole message. This being the same person, I feel that the traits as a King of One versus being a King of Cup got them this. Where in the money section, being the King of Cup, you get the great fortune of everything, especially when it begins on foundation of truth. And that being related to the third eye energy and the reliance coming from the High Priestess. Or I even see, the King of Cup could be like they're facing the High Priestess, but their head's turned. So that being significant also too, where it's about listening to intuition, realizing that Divine Feminine is strongly connected to that as the High Priestess, and then it all coming together. Action speaking louder than words. So this also being about the truth being seen of there being injustice towards that wheel, messing with fate, wanting to keep that wheel from turning. That's also what I'm getting by believing something and then realizing it wasn't paying off. Okay, let's get your final card. And then I'm even getting like this being like a manipulative energy. It could be that asp connected to their crown energy and there being some kind of dysfunction, and then that also attesting to how it is that we have no smiling faces here or smiling energies either. But what I was also hearing while I was trying to shuffle the last cards for you, is that this 10, because I don't even think there's a 10 that's on here. It's just written out as 10. But we got the breakdown of these actual 10 cups here, where I was getting this energy, wanting to throw out into the ethers that this is a 10 card. So this is a 10 card, but this is a major arcana card. And the card that's here for major arcana is trying to control the card that is after, and it's just exactly what the fuck I said. So when this energy has expressed how they feel, this wants to come through. Like anything that has been good that pops through automatically gets met with something like this when it came to this person because they were in this particular state. So this being the 11 that comes after the Wheel of Fortune just speaks to that of what I just said about this being good fortune and that wheel turning. And then here we go with this. And then this being illuminated due to the energy of the Leo, and I don't get Leo energy for this particular Wands card. I'm not getting that. I get more of you being in your power as Leos, but embracing all of the other traits that are from within you that make up the Leo in you, and that sun being that representative right here and shining and rising above this to bring truth into light to this, and that'll be what's here. And then I get that being connected to the Aquarius polarity energy that speaks to that wholeness and the balance from within you, versus the actual, Leo energy. Because this is going to be, yeah, I just don't get that being Leo energy strong, if that makes sense. And I get it being more representative of what's here, but it being about the balance from within. I also get it being similar to like transmuting the energy of what was coming through here as bipolar, allowing this to make one stronger. And as I say that, I see this mountain that's also at the crown of this person here, like rising above the shit. Not calling this person shit, but the shit that has been delivered coming from this energy that was removed from this reading. Also known as foolish energy also too. No, I don't get it being, a sad person who has a 10 of cups and someone being seen as strong. Like that all came through as a facade of an energy. All right, let's get your final card for Leo. And then that true 10 representation being also why we possibly have the Justice card in reverse here too, with this being an 11 energy. But it's also, hot damn, look at this shit. The truth of what I was getting here for this person. Because this is a 10, but you can see here it's not a true 10 of cups. And we went through that breakdown. This will be a breakdown here, and this being a reversal 10. To confirm what I was getting with this energy and this person wanting to be seen as this, but they're actually this. And then the reversal 9 energy, the truth and the false representation of an imbalanced energy, someone who's not independent, someone who's very controlling and codependent. That being a 9 here, and this being a reverse here. And I'll leave it there. It's like the more this energy wants to come through, the more Spirit is wanting to reiterate and show and confirm why not for that person and why they're not in this reading. As much as they want to try to be, they're just going to continue to come through being seen for more of their truth of being a lie. And also a part of something that Divine Masculine has invested in that has gotten them no payoff whatsoever when they actually have this. So making the choice to begin anew is now bringing this will into a turn towards betterment. Final card for Leo. And then even more of the wheel energy, like we got confirmation of this Wheel of Fortune connect to the High Priestess. So even if that King of Cup they have their physical body towards that High Priestess energy, but their face is turned. So even having their face turned, they're seeing the truth of a situation. And that being in the money, which then goes to the Wheel of Fortune, and then that goes back to the High Priestess in the left section. Final card for Leo. I'm going to listen to my intuition and go with what I got initially for the title for your reading, which is incredible. Taurus. Incredible. For the Taurus card, we have diamonds, fab and gorgeous. The color for Taurus is going to be green. That did come through here distinctly here. Not so much here, but then also too, I want to mention the green. That's a part of this that came through connected to the High Priestess. And I got this as being more green with envy versus what comes through with this major arcana card. And then the heart space will be significant connected to that as well, and that being the color for the heart chakra. So for Taurus, we have luxury, comforts, beauty, biz, getting it, ultra, double, and 2. Where's the 2? Right here. Counterpart, Hierophant energy. Contracts, loyalties, commitments, honor, integrity. I even get Ace of Cup energy and an offer coming through with the Ace of Pentacles as well. And then Gemini symbol energy will be significant as far as manifesting and utilizing the tools. That'll also apply to the Hierophant, and that being a card of Taurus. And I did mention that with the tools of the Divine Masculine and what they've utilized and how it's gotten them where it is that they've gotten. Everything happening the way it's supposed to. Double. The true bull and not bullshit. And then here's the symbol for Taurus. I do have this in the midst of this energy of the moon, but I'm also getting that pentacle energy being significant and that being representative of both divine masculine and divine feminine. Today is Venus Day, and Venus is the ruler of both Taurus and Libra. Diamonds will definitely be significant. And then I also get the wheel energy that we see here in the center, in the heart space, and the love, Taurus, that self-love. And then having that and putting that towards oneself, which is also honoring the other part of oneself, divine feminine, divine masculine, 2 parts that make one soul, spins this wheel. So being in connect and in tune with that is going to turn that wheel versus being disconnected and making choices based off of, hot-headedness, even like sex. I'm getting all lower vibrational energies, more of that root chakra energy versus and pink will be a color for the heart chakra also too. So that's where I'm getting the pink. If you recall, I did not mention red at all for this card. More the pink came through for this channeling here. So that being important and being connected, and now things are moving and the abundance is coming through. The blessings are here. Beautiful reading, Leo. All right, let's complete your reading. I hope that, and this landed here with the Wheel of Fortune, just want to mention that too. I hope that these messages are, or have been, enlightening, enriching, enlightening, enriching, and empowering here for you. I thank you all so much for your continued love and support. Welcome to all new subscribers. And until we meet again, I wish you all the very best. Take great care. I love you. Peace.